Okay, hello and welcome to the stream. We are in new territory tonight. Sadly, no longer an RPG. So a bit of a break of tradition from tradition there, but playing a series that I am very fond of, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which was released last summer, I believe. Like last, I don't know, was it July, June, something like that. And I've played like the original trilogy of Ace Attorney, which is I love to death, especially the third game. It's probably one of my favorite games like ever. So I would recommend playing the original trilogy at the very least. I know you can get it for cheap on the Switch. And then I've also played Apollo Justice and the Edgeworth spinoff, but like just the first one, because only the first one was released in the North America so far. So haven't like played the. I know there's a sequel to it. Haven't played that one yet. Also, I about a year or so ago played Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, which were also a lot of fun. Didn't quite like as much as like the original trilogy, but there was still a good time. So I'm glad to play them. And in fact, now I would recommend as a good time to pick them up, just because of the reason that I know, with the eShop going down, I know you can get both Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice currently for pretty cheap. In fact, there was a sale not too long ago. I don't know if it's still happening, but it was like barely anything that it cost for them. But anyway, yeah, so but then I never played these. I know there's been like translations and stuff people have checked out in the past, but so I'm going into this completely new, never having played it before. So I'm excited to check that out. I'm hoping my volume levels will be okay. I'm gonna have to mess around with that a bit because I haven't streamed through my Switch since like September, I think. So it's been like a very long time. So we'll just dive in and adjust accordingly if need be. So yeah. Also, I'm going to be constantly confused about mixing up the A and B button because I'm using Pro Controller once again. And for the longest time for my other streams, I've been using it was like an Xbox controller to play stuff on Steam. So I may like accidentally select things or cancel out of things when I don't mean to. Hey Dawn, hey, glad you're here. I'm about to boot up the game. Maybe you could do me a solid and let me know if the like game volume level is okay with my voice, because I have no clue how this is gonna sound on the Switch because I haven't streamed on this thing in a long time. But yeah, we're just getting started like right now, so it came at the perfect time. Sounds pretty good? Okay. I know there's no, like, real music yet, but hopefully you can, like, hear the game sound at least. Because I don't know if it's a little quiet. Let's see. Okay, now we have music. So I wanted to, make it where you can hear it, but not too loud. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. It makes the little, like, gavel sound when you select. That's cool. Adventure. The gavel thunk. I know. I love that detail. It's so good. Ooh. We get animated cutscene. Hell yeah.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Yeah, I didn't realize this is Ace Attorney anime.
The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
I am Elvis. I love Ace Attorney.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era
Yeah, have a
was
good night
just
too,
the
Elvis.
beginning of an
Hope you're having a good night.
extraordinary story.
Yeah, this is one that I've never played before. I was saying earlier, like, I played the original trilogy, Apollo Justice, the Edgeworth spinoff, and Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, but never this one, so this would be cool to check it out. Okay. 22nd of November, 8:43 a.m., Supreme Court of how do you say that? Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber at 5. You haven't played this one either? Nice, nice. I've heard it was good. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Also, it feels weird playing an Ace Attorney on the Switch because, like, all the other ones I had played on my 3DS, so this is a bit of a different experience. You only played the trilogy on the Wii U Virtual Console? Okay, yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, I played them, like, all on my 3DS, just buying them through the eShop. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Oh gee, are we the one that's being accused? Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. You really want to play the others? Yeah, I'd recommend it. Because I know, like, with the eShop shutting down pretty soon, it's a good time to buy the other ones up for sure. Because I know recently they had them on sale. Like the Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. I think were pretty cheap. I don't know if Apollo is on the eShop. It might be. Should be. I think it's just the Edgeworth one that you can't find on the eShop. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough! Ooh. He's unobliged to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. It's a good-looking lawyer. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Oh, well, he has a sword, man. He's gonna lay down the law and slice it too. So you will now hold your tongue. It's just technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? No, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha ha ha! There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Ah. I must have a fan blowing off the side to make his little headband do that in the air. Okay, cool. Hope you have a yummy dinner. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. Oh gee, were you, like, speaking your thoughts out loud there? The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. Oh heck, so they only recently introduced legal system, at least as we know it. Cause like, I thought this took place like both in Japan and like the UK or something, I'm not sure. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. The art of this looks so nice. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So, you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul at the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. And come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Ooh, I'm actually like excited the fact that this will like partially take place in London. That'll be really cool. It's like, I'm not sure where the other Ace Attorneys technically took place. It seemed to be some kind of like pseudo-Japan or kind of like the United States, but I'm really not sure. It was kind of its own thing, I guess. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner. And I just study the English so that I can go abroad to England. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Man, you know you're a cool guy when your bandana just flutters in the wind on its own. Asogi, may I have a word? Ooh, she cute. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Right bow. Ugh, this is awkward. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yubei University. I feel like this game is just testing my ability to pronounce Japanese names in places. Oh gee. Hopefully I'm not botching them too bad. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard the name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi had told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there were certain that's a peculiar word to say. Peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But, then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so... As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do. What is this, a wedding? We're not getting married. We're on a murder trial. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Ah, it would seem our I can't pronounce things today. Serendipitous discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Phew, that's harsh, bailiff. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. Oh boy. So wait, they made it sound like Kazuma won't be defending us? 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Nah, he looks so nervous, that face. So this is a courtroom. Yep, that's the courtroom, alright. Pretty nice looking one, too. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. Secret? Why is it a secret? That sounds shady. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. Is that even a thing? Is this legal? What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now. You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Okay, what's the judge? Oh wait, this looks like Pain from like the other Ace Attorneys. It's like another copy of him. He always appears as like the first prosecutor in like your first case in a lot of the games. It just looks like him. I wonder if it's named after him. Everyone was like Winston Payne. Oh yeah, that's another thing I'll need to keep an eye out for. Because all the Ace Attorney games, the names are puns. And like pretty genius ones too. And that's a lot of fun. I don't know if they're going to be as common or obvious because I don't, you know, there's Japanese names that I can't really make sense of in terms of puns. But yeah, I'm definitely curious. I wonder if they like translate to something that's a pun that I don't know about, or if they'll just be other, I guess, more English names. But we'll see. We'll see. But that's something I'll be wondering. I wonder if this Pain fellow will be a Pain with a interesting first name. Although this is supposed to take place like way in the past before the other Ace Attorneys, from what I understand. Like, wasn't it hinted at that the Ryunosuke character was like a distant ancestor of Phoenix or something? I don't know for sure, but I feel like I heard something about that, but I'll just play more and find out, I suppose. But anyway, here's the judge. Also, it seems like most of the judges, if not all, have beards. Is it like a requirement to be a judge in this universe? You have to have a beard? Because that's a trend that I am noticing. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ouchie, is that, well, it's not a pun, but is that like another way of saying, it almost sounds like ouchie. Like pain, maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Has the defense. Before we begin, there was one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This would be the question. Oh, the ideal answer. Okay, yeah, that would make sense here. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. I guess it's convenient that he's a law student, because he at least knows kind of what to do. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I'm gonna answer, because... yeah, I feel like that's what we should say. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. Also, does this thing have like okay, it does have a save, so I could just like save in the middle of stuff if I wanted. That's good to know. Because I know there's cases in these games where I'll occasionally want to like reset if I mess up. Oh, what's this? Text box transparency. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. So yeah, that's good to know. So if I'm ever at a point where like I have to make an important decision to like present something, I'll want to like save in case I want to reload the file. So I know that's a thing I had to do a lot in previous Ace Attorneys just so I wouldn't fail. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad I confirmed that that's something I can do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. Yes! Yes? Oh, no. Oh, wait. If I had said no, would it have been gone differently? That's a very awkward way to read. He's so awkward. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotama told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I will be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotama shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
Objection! Hey! First objection! So pretty. Make no mistake, counsel. This really shows that a defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah, you don't look confident, buddy. I'm sorry. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Yeah, as I was just saying. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you've undertaken. Oh gee. How are they gonna test my competence here? Do I have to take a test? Do I have to color in the lines? My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Okay. I think here's the point where I'm gonna, want to save in case I completely botch this. Oh, there's an auto-save, too. That's cool. Okay, in case I just don't have this right. Because I don't know if I remember, if I'm being honest. Unless there's, a case report I can review, I'll have to see. Kindly say before the court the name of the victim in this case. Oh, well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Man, I feel that, where there's, a fact that you 100% know for sure that you know, but when you're put on the spot, your mind just goes completely blank. It happens to be all the time. It has to be a lot on the stream, too, which is annoying, because it's like, man, I know this stuff, I know it. And then you're just like, ugh, can't think. And then later, it'll just dawn on you, and you're like, oh, right. Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's about... Yep, it sure has. Also, I always appreciate how the very first trial / case in these games is always a bit of a tutorial, so it'll be good to kind of get back in this, because it's been well over a year since I've played an Ace Attorney, so just kind of gotta get used to that style of game again, so... You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. Aha, I knew there had to be a court record. Every game has a court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. Oh boy, we're breaking the fourth wall now, aren't we? If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. Court record! This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead of R. Real quick, I want to read what this other stuff says. Okay, so we have a university collar pin, which is proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yume University. I always wear them in the collar of my uniform jacket. Oh, so this is kind of like the attorney pin that Phoenix would always wear, that he was like so proud of. That's kind of like the equivalent to that, I guess, here. I wonder if he ever like graduates and gets something better. Oh, it won't let me like scroll to the next one, so I think I have to press R to continue. Okay. You'll find the details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Okay, cool, because I want to read up on people here. Alright, okay, so this is our friend here, Kazuma Asogi, 23. A second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. Yujin Mikatoba, 42. A medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Okay, I don't know what Takasuchi is supposed to be or mean, but the last name to me kind of sounds like ouchie, which I hope that's the case in like a pain pun, but anyway. Takatsuchi Ouchi, 51. The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. John H. Wilson, 47, the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Okay, so that's our victim here that we need to know the name of, John H. Wilson. Also now, can I... Okay, go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Good to know. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. Okay, well, that is our person in question, so... Present! Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Ha! Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such a profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty altogether, after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh, but I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties don't make any difference for me here. fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Oh, okay. So, I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously that was, there better be an autopsy report, because I think we need one for this situation. Ryunosuke, remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. Heck yeah. You need evidence. Wait, I accidentally hit the button. That was an accident. Anyway, oh, it just happened to be exactly what we needed anyway. The post-mortem report, which I guess is same thing as an autopsy report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and it was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Oh, okay, so he was, like, shot. Also, it looks like we can look a little closer at this, too. Victim, John H. Wilson, male, British, time of death, November 19th, shortly after 2 p.m. Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay, well at least now we know how he died. So I'm assuming they're about to ask us and we'll have to, like, present it. Okay. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Well, I'd say that's pretty obvious. Yes! Yes! Well... according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. Okay, yeah, so I was wondering if there was a difference. So it wasn't called an autopsy report. It's post-mortem instead. Post-death. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. I wonder if that could be a problem, just since it's not going to give, like, as much detail as an actual autopsy would. Like, there's probably some information we'll be missing there. But, yeah, better than nothing, I guess.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime.
I guess they only had black and white photography back then. Whatever year this took place in. Did it say earlier? I wasn't paying attention.
You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion.
In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Why is the chair, like, facing that way? Or did he, like, back up pretty far? Because there's, like, a steak on a plate behind him. That's, like, where the chair should be facing towards the steak so you can, like, eat it. I don't understand that. Maybe that'll become relevant. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photograph print of the victim has been entered into the court record. Yay! So, that's a photographic pinch. Well, not something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Also, I wonder if Ryunosuke will have some kind of special ability later, like they did in the other Ace Attorney games. Each of the main protagonist attorney had, like, a special gift, like Phoenix using the Magnetama to, gosh, what, how did it go again? I think he could, like, perceive something about them, or like they had like chains around them and then he could like figure out what the truth was and have to like get rid of them. I forget exactly what the term for it was though. And then Edgeworth and the Edgeworth spinoff, he could use logic, which is a little more real to life, not, you know, supernatural. And in Dual Destinies / Spirit of Justice, Athena would use psychology, which is really cool. And then Apollo had like the wristband where he could like sense things. And also, yo, hey! Thank you so much to the raid. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. Thank you, Stuff Things. Appreciate it. It's awesome. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. Playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles here. So if you like some silly courtroom drama, you are in the right place. Oh yeah, thank you for the follow as well, Kodiak Fire Knight. Hello everyone, hello! Hope you're all doing well.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was here at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh, this is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotaba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Oh gosh, yeah, Pain's ancestor. I'm so excited. I love how that's like a recurring character in this, where it's like another version of Pain. Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. I know, like, he looks pretty petrified this entire time. If only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. I love that they call it the headband, because it's like, why is it so fluid like that? So they just have, you know, the AC cranked up in there constantly. Ooh, you look interesting. Gosh, yeah. I'm sure there are fanfics of them for sure.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Alright, yeah, enjoy your food, Steph. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Oh gee, yeah, that doesn't look good. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. I hope you've at least seen a doctor for that, because coughing up blood is not normal. Well, it really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Perspiring maybe, but aspiring. Yeah, he's doing a lot of perspiring. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. Thanks. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, the accused university student. Yeah, that does look suspicious.
Yes!
Yes! Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, yeah, probably wasn't a good move to pick up that gun if you just saw a gun lying there, because when a guy is dead, you know, you're gonna look suspicious. I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. I mean, I kind of missed the objection voice from Payne in the original, I don't know, well, yeah, in the original Ace Attorney, he sounds like so funny. It's like, objection! It's like one of my favorite objection voices because it's so ridiculous.
The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw. You amateur.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You have your chance to fight back. For now, you must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in the court today. Ooh, excuse me, feels like I have something in my eye. Ooh. Okay. Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? Sounds like something's inaccurate. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite to him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still. What should I do? Let me save real quick, like, in case I mess up here. But yes, I will interject.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. But the question is, do we have evidence to back it up other than his, like, eyewitness account? That's the challenge of this. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, dear me.
What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? Yeah, because if all they have to go on is memory, there's no way they can, like, prove it. No. Oh. Okay. These guys might be lying, too. It's just like, you don't know who to trust. We need evidence. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Also makes you look very suspicious, sir. Ahem. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Okay. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid to use the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Makes you wonder if there's anything else on that business card that is, would make him look suspicious. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. It says, head waiter's business card. A sketch of the restaurant's layout is on the back. My good lord, dude. Are you okay? So, what was that? The court has now heard a process of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in the terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the course. The case to the court. Messed that up. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these peculiarities. You said it. Professors Mikotobo said it. And so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Ooh, the defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. I always love it when they do that death slam. He does it with like one fist. I remember like Phoenix would do it like with both hands. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Oh yeah, you have to know how to point strongly if you're a lawyer in this universe. Indeed. Prosecutor Iwuchi, please continue with proceedings.
Tisk! Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to wipe that smirk off your face. Ugh. In a few short moments from now,
that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silent forever.
The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Okay. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Okay. Who else was there? Interesting looking characters.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iyisa Nosa reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon. I'm conducting my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd District. Kyoryo Korikuta at your service.
Gosh, he's shaking so much. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying. I mean, yeah, that was honestly a mouthful to me too. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Thank you for translating, Kaltba. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It is that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who had loaded his firearms, sir. That's an intense mustache too, very triangular. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise doing that last thing he said. You know, I thought I heard that too. I was wondering if I was imagining it, but yeah, I heard something weird. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes? Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by. That's like a baby crying. I thought I heard a baby. Right? Standing by, ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Wait, I wonder if those straps on that soldier guy's back are like actually like carrying a baby behind him. What the witnesses saw. Ooh, okay, so this is the version of the theme they play here. I always like this song. Like, I forgot what it's called. But like one of the original Ace Attorney is like one of my favorite tracks in the series. Whenever you're like questioning witnesses. I was adjusting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes, and there's the baby again. I wonder where they got that firearm from. Could it have been you, sir? You are a soldier. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Wait. That's already, something to add up here, because in the photo and the post-mortem report, he was shot from the front and the chest, not from behind. So I wonder if we're gonna have to press that one, because that one, yeah, I could already see that being an issue. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. Baby noises. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. Wait a second. Did anti-guy just pull out a knife? Why you got a knife, man? This is a courthouse. I don't think you're supposed to just casually have a knife on you. What times do we live in, when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day? But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Reminds me, I should take a sip of my coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang! Well, that's the truth. There was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this trial. Yes! All right. The way he raises his hands awkwardly like a student in class is great. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it? How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
Yeah. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Go. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. The defense will conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? He didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now, let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. All right. That was such a weak, tap on the desk. It's okay. I'm sure you'll get better at it over time. All right, then. It's all or nothing. Cross-examination. Oh, yeah. This is where things get real. What the witnesses saw. Okay, so now we have little penalty things up there. So, I'm gonna want to save, because I know this is where we can, mess up. If we, present the wrong thing on the wrong segment. I am going to want to press every statement, though, because I like to see what they say. I don't think they're gonna, penalize you for that this soon. I know there's some other Ace Attorney games where some of the later cases got difficult to where, you could only press a certain number of them before you got into trouble, or something along those lines. But I think right now, since it's a tutorial first case, I doubt it's gonna get that intense. Okay. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Yes!
Oh yeah, so it says yes instead of hold it, I think is what Phoenix would say. If I remember correctly. Boy, is this awkward. Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique? I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask. Good going, Ryunosuke, good going. Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you. Alright then, why do you keep raising your hand? This beef steak you mentioned, what kind of food is that? Okay. Shin-shun! Ugh! Beef steak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beef steak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet. Right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food? We're just asking about what food is. I don't think this is gonna get you very far. Chin-shun! Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal, tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. So is it kind of like a country fried steak, sort of? Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it! Well, at least if we fail, we'll have something to look forward to, I guess. Yes, sir! I will, sir. On the double, sir! Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So, next question. I didn't think you'd be asking this much just about this first thing, gee. Is it just me or do I hear sort of a while crying noise? Negative. Yeah, you better not be shaking a baby on your back or something, because every time you move, you hear the noise. Well, at least you learned that he's a big beef lover. Yeah, I'm sure that'll help solve this murder, knowing the fact that he likes beef. Oh boy. Affirmative. Kazuma looks so done with him. This is not how to get senpai to notice you, Ryunosuke. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Prime presser or what? There's achievements in this game? What? Okay. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
Yes!
I have no idea what you're talking about! Oh my gosh, this is going terribly. A Koban boy? Koban? You mean an old Edo coin? The day prior to the incident, A treasure of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said items secreted in my bosom pocket. In the hope of an affluent, what is that word? Cognoscent appraised of its indisputable value being present. So, you were hoping to sell your Koban coin? To Sergeant Dosa, whom you met at the restaurant. Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You are about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Koban. Isn't that so? Well... You little upstart cadet! You want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination! No, I didn't say anything. Although, penniless might be just the word I was looking for. In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained a precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me who was grappling with his brace de ville at the time was my sole prospect. I see. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time? Affirmative. I saw you. Laughing, cackling, like a bad man as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian. But that's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table. And so what if it was? Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't in fact see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun. Arrgh. And double arg. My sixth sense. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Yeah, that doesn't sound like something you can use as testimony. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet. Surely that's not really possible, is it? Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well... It would seem the soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good. The black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. And from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Okay, this is the one that I think is inaccurate, which I'll probably have to go back and present something on, because he was shot from the front, not the back.
Yes!
So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was... Arg. I have had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, huh? I mean, Cosimo's wearing all black too, right? Well, yeah, exactly. There's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a citizen of the Great Empire of Nippon? You disgust me! What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. Yeah, even here they're hinting that this is the statement we have to present something on. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. Oh, baby. Okay. I was on my hands and knees, investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Yes!
On your hands and knees. Could you explain that, please? That's right. Spurting the arthritis I was in order to retrieve the lost piece. The lost piece? Did you drop something? What lost piece are you referring to? Oh, he angry. The Koban, of course! The exquisite Hoyera Koban coin! You know, that's like honestly one of the most satisfying parts of these too. Whenever the witnesses just have their like freak out moments and they could just become completely unhinged. It's like a reward. I had just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Koban vanished? Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it. And then it happened. The way this guy talks is interesting. You heard the gunshot, you mean? None other than, though it was no concern of mine, I was frantically scouring the floor for the aforementioned lost treasure. So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred. Indeed. Myself, I did not. Yes, it is Silly Lawyer Game, Super Saturn. Welcome to the stream. It's a silly game about lawyers. Courtroom drama. As it were. Serious lawyer game only. Oh man, I guess I'm playing the wrong game then, because... Well then again, it is a murder trial, so I guess that would be considered pretty serious if you're really thinking about it. Ugh. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, Ryunosuke. We know there were lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while the witness is giving testimony by pressing R. Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence, and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. An inconsistency? When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with X and rip the witness apart. Oof. Rip and tear. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. Serious business. Thanks for the follow, Steph. Glad to have you around. Okay. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness's statement. Alright, I'll give it a try. Okay. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. Him holding the sword actually kind of reminds me of, gosh, what was his name? It was the prosecutor from Dual Destinies. And didn't he have a katana as well? It was like Black something was his name. I don't remember. The dude with the dark hair that was kind of samurai-like. It'll hit me later. I know his name, I just can't think of it right now. Anyway, I think I know exactly what piece of evidence I need, well not, or what statement at the very least, I need to present on, which is this one. Let me save, because I'm a coward who doesn't like to get penalties. Knightxel, maybe that was it. Yeah. I think that's who I'm thinking of. I just couldn't remember his name. Didn't he have a sword too? I feel like he had a sword. I know he also had that like falcon that he would like send out. Get those penalties. Aw, man. Penalties hurt though. He had the falcon for sure. Yeah, I remember the falcon. Okay. So my theory here is that this is incorrect because he said it was fired from the back, and this guy was clearly shot from the front. Question is, will the correct evidence be the post-mortem report or the photo? Because both of them, does this one detail where he was shot? I feel like it could either be, yeah, the photo probably. The photo shows it more clearly. So let's do that one.
Yes!
No. Also shows that he's like facing away from the table too. What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. Ooh, the music's getting intense. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously that, I know what I want to say, but the word just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. So calm, cool, and collected, man. Ugh, Cosmo, you're so cool. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Cosmo? What? What are you talking about? Yeah, what a defense, right? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there is a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iasanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. Oh, gee, I guess you go in the military and your eyes become military-grade. Is that how that works?
Yes!
You'd have to be stupid not to see it. I know. That's a good defense. Yeah, that'll get you far in court. Yeah. Bullet went in the other way, man. He got it wrong. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because. Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well... Ooh, the baby! The baby! I knew there'd be a baby! But we kept hearing baby noises earlier. There is a baby back there. I knew it. What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Like, you can't really hide it. Like, you're in a courtroom. Like, surely someone would have noticed you had a baby strapped on your back. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Well, the thing is on the baby's back. I'm so happy, though. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. I know, yeah, really, what was that? This is strange. Who allowed the baby into the courtroom? This witness, Sergeant E.S. Anosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. Indisputably, this witness has a baby behind him. Yeah, that's true. Super Saturn. That's at least one fact that we know here. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh, burn! Ah, oh, eat that. Take that, ouchie, Mr. Pain ancestor. Kyarg! Inconsistency serial report. Yep, there's the baby. You can see it from behind. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just in that one discrepancy. So this is what being an Ace Attorney— title drop. Ace Attorney. This is what being an Ace Attorney is all about. Roll credits. But he's not just gonna be an Ace Attorney, he has to be the Great Ace Attorney, according to the title of this. I know, yeah, neither of them should be allowed to hurl insults. Like, it's not supposed to get personal, but then I'm pretty sure any real lawyer would rip apart the validity of how realistic these are. In fact, I think I've seen a couple of videos of that with, like, a lawyer reacting to, like, the first case of the original Ace Attorney game, which is pretty funny to see. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up on the floor. Also, like, if you were the one who was actually, like... Well, I mean, I guess in some cases, the person who's accused can, like, represent or defend themselves, but yeah, this whole scenario is weird. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot— she just keeps pushing the baby back down, that poor child. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Oh yes, you were looking for your Koban coin, weren't you? Indeed, the prized Hoya era Koban. Hunting around under the table, I was, in case my habit had fallen there. And then it happened. What happened? Oh yeah, gunshot. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Yeah, it's so bizarre, Super Saturn. There's like multiple witnesses. I don't think there's a jury, like, at all. And this is supposed to take place like a long time ago too. Like they made it sound like it's only been a couple years that this whole particular court system was even introduced to Japan, like, at all. So yeah, the realism just goes out the window like right away. But that's part of why it's entertaining. I guess though, like, if it was like an actual courtroom simulator, it might not be as entertaining as a game, so I don't know. That'd be like a funny spin-off, like, fan game, so we can make, like, Ace Attorney a bit more realistic. You'd have to consult an actual lawyer for that, though, I'd imagine. Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me. You seem pretty intent on that. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? Yeah, exactly. Did you find it? That's a pretty important question. Was there even a coin to begin with? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Auchi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there was only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir. All at once, sir. Waiting signal to testify, sir. Does the baby have a testimony? Is the baby gonna be a witness? Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. Okay, at least he acknowledges that this child is there. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ha! Kazumi has a sense of humor there. Ido, tension. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Oh my gosh. Watch and learn, my boy. Oh dear, oh dear. Pinwheel. Yeah, that'll keep him entertained. This kid might have a cold too. Mad respect for the dad. I mean, yeah, for sure. Definitely cool that he's, you know, looking after his son like that and, you know, just carrying him around. Witness testimony. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man. He was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, the visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. A little laughter. It's kind of cute.
Yes!
The testimony is just sort of like, yes! Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Yeah, there's that woman he said that he saw.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, Then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photograph or print of the scene of the crime, counsel? I mean, the person could have gotten up, you know? Maybe they needed to go to the bathroom or something. Or maybe they were done eating. I don't know. They had somewhere to be. There's a lot of reasons. Indeed. At the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after his— Wait. I'm not convinced that that's the one he was dining at, because why would the chair be, like, facing the other way? Because, like, when he was— the one photo of his dead body, he wasn't, like, at the table. So, like, why would he have, like, completely turned his chair around? That's what's weird to me. Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one playset. I mean, that is a point, certainly. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. It's a shame this is an era where they wouldn't have had, like, security cameras in the restaurant, so they could have, like, seen, you know, more of what happened. Now they have to go— Also, who took this photo? Oh, no, the only photo they took was, like, after he died, so there was nothing, like, before they could have known, so, yeah. That's the challenge of this. They don't have, like, much strong evidence to go off on. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Photographic print of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. Okay. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen at the victim's table. I'm quite the fan of carbonated water myself. I love me some sparkling water. I don't understand. Yeah, I was wondering, has carbonated water been invented then? Like, I don't know how long this has been around. It kind of makes you want to, like, legit look up the date or year when that was invented. What's going on here? But something about it sounds more modern, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Like, when was soda invented? A seltzer, maybe. Yeah, could be. I know, this OST is so good stuff. The music in the other games is really good, and I'm enjoying the music in this one immensely as well. Ugh, it's great. Definitely gonna want to, like, listen to it on its own later after I finish the game. It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard, leave no further room for doubt. And I still have some doubts here. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Takasuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the enmity of these two great empires is an honor. Oh man, he's not looking good. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Yeah. Can't give up that easily. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Tisk, rules can be so unbending at times. Ugh. Oh boy. I gotta say, cross-examination segments are probably my favorite parts of these games. I always find them really fun. And the music is usually good too. I like how the further you get into it, usually the tempo will pick up and get more intense. That's like when you know you're getting closer to an answer. Okay.
just press each one of these. I know, yeah. I want to press all the things. Okay.
Yes!
No, no, no. It's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. The opinion of an uninformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. I don't think so. Consider this defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? What does that have to do with this? Excuse me? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? No, I can't because those glasses, I can't see through them. How could I? Yeah, it is. I guess it's kind of like a military tribunal. Apparently there was like some kind of weird exception where even like all the people in the court that were like watching this trial were all like military and government personnel for some reason, like no regular citizens, and I don't know why. They didn't fully explain the reason for that, but apparently that was one of the stipulations of this trial. And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. Oh boy. He blinked, everyone! That's just a jaw-dropping revelation right there. So there you have it. Have what? What are you getting at here? That you can, like, something can happen but you don't see it happening? Tension! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears. At the very next moment, I saw you waving the gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Grr. And let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in this most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Korakuta-san? Yes, pointed his gun at the foreign man, he was that young lad in black, that much I myself did see.
Yes!
Yes. Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at the point in time. I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously. As a corporal, that's the only way you could explain it away. I had just finished drinking my coffee, and I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet. So I picked it up. And at exactly that moment, bang. A gunshot rang in my ears. How full of events beyond our control life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Once again, how is he allowed to have a knife in a courthouse? I don't understand this. But then, and the Cosmo has a sword. I don't know, man. I guess they were more lax with the rules back then. Oh boy. I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor, and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains. Myself, I did see you, with pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Because aesthetic, right? Yeah. It definitely, especially on Cosmo, man. He looks good with that sword. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Oh wait, I meant to press that. My bad. Let me go back.
Yes!
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I'll go back one after this. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone? That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there was only a single beef steak on the victim's table, a meal for one. Or like maybe the other person at the table wasn't even eating. Maybe they were just like sitting and talking. They don't have to order something. Antique dealer, the sergeant and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible they're all lying. Yeah, I know, someone has to be lying here, if not multiple people. It's a cover-up. It's a setup. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Okay, there's a statement further back that I meant to... This one. I meant to press this one. And I forgot to.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As you have been in pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm going to callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. Makes you wonder, like, was someone in disguise? What's going on here? Something's fishy. Something is very fishy. If only there'd been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. Dude, that's like the ideal time to order, honestly. If you want to, like, beat the rush of, like, the lunch crowd or the dinner crowd, just, like, go just in the middle of the day. Or it's a good time to, like, order food, too, because you might get it faster, you know, because not as much traffic and such. Or customers. I know, of course, the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. I mean, he was a teacher, maybe it was just the only time he had available in his schedule, you know? There was. This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. Report card? It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hot clinic? Yes, there would appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it is hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you could request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence? Yeah, why not? Like, it's not gonna hurt. More info, yes. I can't get over how he awkwardly raises his hand every time. If I may ask, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. Exactly. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. Tisk! Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Alright. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. Huh. You cannot conspire to prolong this trial as much as you'd like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten.
These witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korakuta-san.
Okay, we already pressed this one, so let's go to the next one. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out.
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Someone's gotta be lying here, like for sure. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? It's also the waiter, right? Yeah, the waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is such a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changed much. I can see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Yeah, that's gotta be key to something. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Yeah, discovered that earlier. Used, yeah, okay. The different directions and R. Oh, you can kind of like look at it at different angles. Cool. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using L. Okay, you can examine a specific part. Okay, cool. I'm glad they brought this back. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a close look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use R, L, and A to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. Okay. Well, let's go. Any suspicious? Okay, that's the name. It says Hata Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics. Almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Oh, I feel you so hard on that. Are they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had. Only cold in your life? My dude, you're lucky. That's the only cold you've ever had. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Brr, I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one. Yeah, exactly. To have only one cold in their whole life. Like, you have nothing to complain about. Like, at all. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Okay. Anything else? this here? Probably not. What about behind here? Okay. Dentist. Oh, wait. Did you go to the dentist? It looks like this medical report card was first. Ooh. Okay, this is just like complete guess on top of my head. But I wonder if this will just prove something like, oh, you went to the dentist and maybe he had like a tooth issue where like it wouldn't make sense for him to be chewing steak. I don't know how that would be relevant, but just a thought. It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a long-term treatment, that's why. With the family doctor, I imagine. Oh, well, I can't imagine. Going to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. My goodness. Well, if you were dead, there'd be no point. Ah, that's a good point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine. They give you painful injections. And then they demand lots of money for you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. You sound like a model patient. With a bad case of sufferness, no less. For which the only cure is a very bitter medicine indeed. Oh my god, an achievement, healthy curiosity. I sure am the curious type, so cool. Okay. Now this looks suspicious. What do we have in here? Stamps. This is like a detailed record of all the treatments that have been done. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molder with topical anesthesia. Yeah, okay, yeah, he would not be eating steak if he just had a tooth extracted. Extraction of a molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had it, yeah, like literally like less than an hour after a tooth extraction. He wouldn't be like eating it. Oh, I wonder if like the empty spot at the table was actually like where he was sitting, which would explain why there was no food, because like dude wouldn't be eating after that. Not like solid food at least, I wouldn't think. Maybe like drink a milkshake or something, I don't know. It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Oh gee, do they like only have laughing gas? They couldn't actually like inject you with the numbing stuff? Whew. That would still be painful. Like really painful. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's head eating that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly, no, yeah, there we go. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours. 3 hours post-procedure. Until anesthetic effects have passed. Yeah, this is gonna be important. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Okay. Record of dental work. On the day of the murder, the victim had undergone dental treatment and been prohibited from eating or drinking anything with water. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. Yeah. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Alright. Got some new evidence in tow. Should be good. Okay, so let's see, which one would I need to present for this? Wait, nope, that's not what it... I'm hitting the wrong button, my bad. Well, now I'm kind of curious what it says on these. Ah, the symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. It's like the spike design, even though it doesn't really... I like the spike design even though it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Although it does cause problems. Oh dear, lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Ouch. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders. A sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. It's a theory. It's a theory. Ooh, okay, an ID number? My personal student number is engraved on the back here. If you lose your pin, they won't accept you as a UMA student at the university. You may not You may not come in, they say. That's a good joke. That's a good joke. Of course, you can get a new pin made if you just tell them your number. Help you out memorize. I've actually lost mine twice already, but I still don't know my student number by heart. My goodness, Ryunosuke. You need to get your act together, man. I always say to myself, I mustn't forget to write it down somewhere. But then I forget to not to forget that. Although, I can understand the forgetting to not forget thing. Like, oh man, I'm bad about that too. I think a closer look at this too, just we didn't really examine this one yet. This plan of the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you saw there. Exactly. And that's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen. Oh yes. What of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen. Especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. Well, I've already established he doesn't have the greatest memory. What's on this side? That's what I'm curious about. Okay. Ooh. Chief Inspector. I thought this was supposed to be a business card. Well, of the waiter. You sound like more than just a waiter of looking at this. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru. Oh wait, no, that's implying that the professor dude who was killed was an inspector, right? Do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hasugama. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. Yeah, so why would you have like an outline of the whole like restaurant on the back? That's weird. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. Yeah, that too. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector Satoru Posunaga. Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau? So he's basically like private investigator, I guess, all this time. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence, if they're wielding it somehow here. Alright. Info updated. So let's take a closer look at this one too. Ooh, magnifying glass. Will it like light up if there's something suspicious? I guess not. It just gives us like a closer view. Oh. Not really much to see here yet. Okay, so went through all that. Now I just need to figure out what statement to show evidence on. Pretty sure it's the medical record that's important here, just based on what they were saying. Okay. Only personal present. Indeed, alone he was, dining out by himself. Okay, maybe this is the one, because it's suspicious that he would be dining at all if he wasn't supposed to eat after the tooth extraction. Yeah, I'm thinking it's this one. Okay. Present.
Yes!
Yes. Oh, I got it right. Oh, yeah, that's another way I remember in these games. You know you present the right thing if the music goes quiet. If the music's still playing, you know you're in trouble because you got it wrong. So, we got it right. Yeah! Such a good feeling when you do that. Well, I think, about what are you wittering, lad? You call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could. But first and foremost here, I am the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposely, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. I wonder if we're going to see, like, a progression of him getting more confident with, like, him going from the hand raising to some other gesture, or whatever he'll slam the desk if it'll get louder and more forceful. That'd be a cool character growth thing. I hope that happens. I don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. I mean, to say what you're thinking sounds like it could not always be the smartest move in a courthouse, but sure. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Yeah, calm down. You got this, boy. You got this. You got this, Ryunosuke. Show them your stuff. Ooh. Oh, this is a cool tune. I like this song. Korakuta-san. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time, it's completely... It is relevant. It totally is. Man would not be chewing on a steak, which usually takes a lot of jaw strength, right after he had a tooth removed. Like, no, absolutely not. Doctor's orders said not to eat for like 3 hours, or drink. But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There was surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard has been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there was no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the crime. Was a lot of P words. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Oh man, he's getting more confident. Yay! Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hota Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Ding. Just what are you trying to say, your cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't be. Korakuta-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. Oh, he's sweating. That looks awfully suspicious, man. You got guilt written on your face there. Even the baby looks concerned. You have self-assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Expertly done, partner. Oh, this theme.
Objection!
What? What is this nonsense, you little upstart? Oh, this music's so good! These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table. It must have belonged to the other woman that was there, not him.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have been turned. If I had an air horn sound effect, that's where I'd play it. Because, man, I know this is a murder trial, but I just witnessed a murder right here. Dang. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel? Who ate the beef? Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... Oh man. I feel like I could get a penalty for this one. Let me say. Though, to be fair, I don't get a penalty if I'm wrong, but... I don't want a penalty on my record, man. Okay. The person... I think it was the unknown third party. That's my guess. That's my hunch. Obviously, it could only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person!
Yes!
Yes! There was! Because I saw her! When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on the table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. Urgh. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Oh man. Kazuma? Are you insane? You would take on the government? Heck yeah, stick it to the man. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Oh man, perjury. And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Oh man, Kazuma means business. Complicit in murder? No! Hold it. Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as a man says. What do you mean, following orders? You just outed yourself, dude. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh man, I bet you the waiter put them up to this. It has to be the waiter. He's the sus one, bro. He's the sussest among us. Waiter's the imposter. Oh, went right back to normal. What? What did you just say, Korikuda-san? Oh, no. You were just following orders? No, hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What? Aw, man, the plot thickens. What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements. Is this true, you pair? Just one. Just one. Simple. Slip of the tongue. I feel kind of bad for Oichi, because, like, he didn't put these witnesses up to this. At least I don't think he did. I think the waiter did. Order! Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. As painfully cleared out, you tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Oh no, he's saying he did. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. That's the question. Did Aoichi set them up to say this, or did the waiter? We'll see. I'm still thinking it was the waiter. But it would not be the first time that a prosecutor has used underhanded means to try to get their victory in these games. So, who knows? Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Oh, well, it was the baby. No. That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. The baby just pulling out his mustache. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aoichi had any idea about it. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. What are you saying? I mean, will that kind of influence? There are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How could we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? Before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Okay, yeah. I wonder if it's going to be the business card, the fact that we found that info about the victim being like a private investigator. Because the fact that the waiter had that means he must have given it to him, so they must have known each other, or like at least known, the waiter must have known he was a private investigator. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait! Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swore to every Shinto god! I knew nothing! And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. I'm deep in thought. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessarily influence to manipulate the witness is... Okay, let me save. Okay. Let's see. I want to save this guy. I don't know if we have enough to back it up yet, but that's what I want to try.
Yes!
Okay, good. I think it's correct. The music stopped. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took... Oh, wait, no. It was that the waiter was the private investigator, not the professor. I think I got that mixed up, but you know what I mean. The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man were truly a waiter. Ha ha ha. He is not just a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Oh yeah, I'm gonna drop a truth bomb on them. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity as proven by this evidence. This evidence, you know, I didn't even save immediately before this, but I feel confident here.
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. Turn it over. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. That's a very confusing way to say that, but yeah. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's... surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is the police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard anything of this before? Poor guy. I want to crush you, but I also feel bad for you. Kind of. The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power. As far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there on the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Yeah, this waiter didn't just take orders, he also gave orders. Well... Oh man, he's showing his true colors now. Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, they look scared around him. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was an impossibility. Oh yeah, I remember he was nervous about him handing that over, and that explains why. It's told your identity on there. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, it's well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I tried to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. Oh man. They're serious when they do the glasses thing. So, you mean to say, you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working at a restaurant as a restaurant raider? Of course. Your salary would be terrible. I mean, yeah, to be fair, waiters are not paid well, which is criminal, if you ask me. But yeah, that's why it's important to tip well, especially if you're in the United States. I know it's kind of different in other countries, but here, for sure, tip. Please help them out. They need the money. They're not, by that, they're not paid fairly, like, at all. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to the case of this homicide. Very well then. Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Ahem. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. What'd you do? How'd you remove her exactly? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil, to name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! Silence. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Cosma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. Oh. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying at the university in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty. What? What is happening here? Oh man. I admitted under orders from the police bureau. I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene. And I ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. Yeah, because we still have to prove exactly how this man was killed. Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling on the point. Heck yeah.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency! That would mean missing the due deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Ah, yeah. Judge standing his ground. We'd love to see it. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. We will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with utmost urgency. I wonder if that was the woman that we saw earlier outside. At once, Your Excellency. But that means that we're going to get some special orders you were given for the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. You shouldn't be serving food if you're, like, coughing up blood. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Oh, man. Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Yay, recess. Let's play. To be continued. Yes, I would like to save. Actually, since we got to a to be continued point, I think that might be a good spot to stop for tonight. So this trial will be continued next stream, which I will plan to go live on next Tuesday at 7:30 Eastern. Usually the schedule I try to keep is every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30. I still need to post that on my Twitch page. I haven't done it yet, but I've been able to keep it pretty consistent since January. So I think it's safe to say at this point that I can put that up there. So note to self, I need to work on that. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for everyone who watched. It's been a ton of fun. I'm really enjoying this so far, and can't wait to see the conclusion of this first trial. And also thank you so much to Steph for the raid. That was super cool. Glad to and for everyone else who like followed or was a new face in here. Happy to have you. And yeah, good night to everyone. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye.